Fam First Friday. And before I get into my topic on tonight, just giving you some games to watch over this weekend. Although the WNBA is in their finals with New York going up against Minnesota, that should be a great game. And in the MLB, you have the Cleveland Guardians going up against the Detroit Tigers, and that should be a good game 5. But nobody's talking about those games because so many people are hooked on football. So I'm going to give you my top 5 football games to watch over this weekend, college and pros. Number 1, I think definitely in college, is the Red River Shootout between Texas and Oklahoma. This is what ABC wanted, and ESPN and Disney, to have that Texas Longhorns and the Sooners of Oklahoma facing off on their network. So now you got it. But another big one out west is going to be Oregon versus Ohio State. This should be a great game to actually watch. And then I will say the number 3 game in college football. Look out for Ole Miss going against LSU. That should be a great game to actually watch over your weekend. And then just looking at the NFL, another great game should be the New Orleans Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both teams kind of got off to a good start, and now they're trying to get themselves back together. Then the last but not least, I would definitely say a good game to watch is the Washington Commanders versus the Baltimore Ravens. Check them out. My topic on tonight is knowing your family's generation. A lot of people don't know their family members 5 and 6 years apart from them because they have not actually been passed down to them and nobody has actually informed them about them. But it's very important that you actually know the people that were actually before you, because some of your habits and things that you do, good and bad, may actually come from these actual people. So that's why it's actually important for us to actually know who they were, what they did, and how they used to actually act. So I have 3 things that you guys should look for as far as knowing your generations. Number 1, you should actually talk to people who are actually older than you in your actual family, because they will be the ones that know things about your great grandparents and people before. If you don't talk to the people before you, you won't be able to know the people that came before them. So it's important that you actually communicate with them, talk to them about these people, so that you can actually know who they actually were and what they actually did. Another thing that you should know about your family's generation is what things have they actually passed down. Meaning they may have passed down some wealth, meaning they may have passed down some knowledge, meaning they may have passed down some things about your family that you actually need to know that will actually help you out. So it may not be wealth that they're passing down to you. It may be knowledge that they're passing down to you. It may be a better understanding of who you are and what you actually come from. But whatever they have passed down to you, it's good and helpful for you to actually know these actual things. And then number 3, you should always look for, is my family generation doing better than the generations before us? Meaning, if people in your family own homes, are you owning a home now? If people in your family had a business, are you actually owning a business? If people in your family were broke and poor and lived out on the street, are you actually doing better than them and you're in an apartment, you're doing something more than what they actually did before you? It's important that we actually improve what our family did instead of going in a decline. And then also even too, maybe with education, if your family members didn't graduate from high school, are you graduating from high school? If they didn't graduate from college, are you graduating from college? Not to say that you have to go down the road of going to school, but are you just actually approving based on what your family members have actually done before you? Now, even if you can't find any of this information out from your actual family members. A key thing that someone told me is that if your family does not have these type of things, or you can't get this type of information for them, make sure that you make it available for your kids, so that they can know who you are, who you were, and what you actually stood for, and your parents and your grandparents and your great grandparents if you actually knew them. So this has been a Film First Friday. Enjoy your night and go Dodgers.